The last time I saw him as my husband, he wasn't angry. He was empty. That scared me more than rage ever could. The cemetery was too quiet for something so violent. Because that's what grief is. Violent. It rips through you without leaving visible wounds. The wind carried the faint scent of lilies as the casket lowered into the earth, and I remember thinking, this isn't real. This can't be real. Our son was 5. 5. Small shoes still by the door. A half-built dinosaur puzzle on the living room floor. A laugh that echoed in the hallway just days before. And then, nothing. The accident was instant. That's what they said. As if that made a kinder. When the final prayer ended and people began to disperse, I reached for my husband's hand. He didn't take it. Not because he pulled away. Because he didn't respond at all. He stood there like stone. Eyes forward. Breathing, but not present. That was the first fracture. We didn't scream at each other. We didn't blame each other. That would have been easier. Instead, we drowned quietly. Nights became unbearable. The house felt haunted by accents. Every room was a reminder of something we could never get back. I cried. He didn't. He stopped speaking in full sentences. Stopped sleeping. Stopped looking at me like I was someone he recognized. 3 months after the funeral, I found him sitting in our son's room in the dark. You need to rest, I whispered. He didn't move. I failed him, he said flatly. No, I replied immediately. It was an accident. He turned his head slowly toward me. There are no accidents, he said. The way he said it made something cold settle in my chest. After that, he changed. Not loudly. Strategically. He started disappearing for hours. Then days. He took calls in private. Met people I didn't know. His grief sharpened into something else. Purpose. But not the kind I understood. We can't survive like this, I told him one night. We already didn't, he replied. The divorce papers were signed 6 months after the funeral. No lawyers arguing. No property battles. Just 2 signatures at a wooden table that had once held birthday cakes and homework sheets. When I handed him the pen, our fingers brushed. He didn't look at me. I hope you find peace, I said. He nodded once. You too. That was it. I left the house. The city. The life we built together. Because staying would have killed me. Years passed. I rebuilt slowly. Pain doesn't disappear. It just learns how to sit quietly in the background. I moved into nonprofit work, child safety advocacy. It was the only way I could breathe without choking on guilt. I avoided headlines. Avoided news. Avoided anything that reminded me of the world he might be living in. Because deep down I knew. He wasn't healing. He was transforming. I first heard his name again at a charity gala. I almost didn't attend. But funding was tight, and I needed donors. The ballroom glittered with money and influence. I stood near the champagne table, rehearsing my pitch in my head, when I heard 2 men speaking behind me. Laurent runs this city now. Not publicly. Doesn't need to. I froze. Laurent. It's a common name. It can't be. After what happened to his kid, one man added quietly. He changed. Went cold. My breath stopped. No. No. No, no. I turned slowly. What did you say? I asked before I could stop myself. The men looked surprised. Laurent. One repeated. Adrien Laurent. Owns half the private security firms in the region. Security firms. That's what they call it. The air shifted. Subtle. But noticeable. Conversations lowered. Heads turned. And then I felt it. That familiar, suffocating awareness. He was here. I didn't see him at first. I felt him. Like gravity pulling at the room. When I finally turned. There he was. Adrien. White. Taller than I remembered. Broader. Sharper. Wearing a black tailored suit that fit him like armor. His hair was shorter. His jaw harder. But his eyes. Those were the same. Except colder. Controlled. Deadly. He didn't look surprised to see me. Which meant he already had. The room parted subtly as he walked forward. Not because people were told to move. Because they wanted to. Feared to stand in his path. He stopped 3 feet away from me. Close enough that I could smell the faint trace of his cologne. Clean. Familiar. Dangerous. Hello, Amelia. My name sounded foreign in his voice. Low. Measured. Adrien, I whispered. The world shrank. Just us. And the years between us. You look well, he said. It wasn't a compliment. It was an observation. You're different, I managed. His mouth curved slightly. So are you. Silence stretched. Heavy. Full of things unsaid. You left, he said quietly. You let me, I replied. His eyes flickered. Just slightly. I heard you're successful. I said, trying to steady myself. I am, he answered. No apology. No explanation. Security firms? I asked. He held my gaze. If that makes you comfortable. It didn't. The room buzzed around us, but no one interrupted. No one dared. I didn't know, I said softly. I know, he replied, and something in his tone made it clear. That was intentional. He stepped closer, not threatening, but undeniably dominant. Grief changes men, he said. And women, I replied. His gaze softened for half a second, then hardened again. Why are you here, he asked. Fundraising, I said. For child safety programs. The irony wasn't lost on either of us. He exhaled slowly. You always did fight for causes. And you? I asked quietly. What are you fighting for? His jaw tightened. Control, he said. The word hung between us. Honest. Terrifying. I searched his face for the man I married. He was still there. Buried. But not gone. I never knew, I whispered. That I'd become this, he asked. Yes. His eyes darkened. Neither did I. And as the music swelled around us, I realized something chilling. I didn't just run into my ex-husband. I ran into the most powerful man in the city. A man who built an empire from grief. And who was now looking at me. Like I was the only thing in the room he hadn't conquered. The music continues. The gala continues. But the rest of the room fades into something distant and irrelevant. It's just him. Just us. And the weight of everything we lost. You built this. I say quietly, meaning the empire everyone whispers about. Yes. With what? He doesn't hesitate. Rage. The honesty knocks the air from my lungs. I thought you disappeared, I whisper. I did, he replies. From the man you knew. There's no pride in his voice. No shame either. Just fact. You could have told me. I say, and pulled you into it. His jaw tightens. No. You decided for me. I protected you. The word hits harder than it should. Protected. From what? From him? You don't get to decide what I can handle. I say quietly. His gaze sharpens. And you don't get to pretend you weren't drowning with me. That stings because it's true. We both drowned. We just chose different ways to survive. Why security firms? I ask. His expression shifts, something colder sliding into place. Because accidents aren't random, he says. My pulse spikes. Adrian. I found things, he continues evenly. Details that were overlooked. Brakes that failed too cleanly. A driver who disappeared. The ground tilts beneath me. You're saying. I'm saying, he cuts in softly. I refuse to let it remain unanswered. All this time. All these years. While I tried to build safety from policy and reform. He built it from power. You became this because of him, I whisper. Yes. There is no denial. And did you find what you were looking for? A long pause. Yes. And they don't exist anymore. His tone is calm. Controlled. Terrifying. I should feel horror. I don't. I feel relief. And that realization frightens me more than anything. The music shifts to something slower. Couples begin moving toward the dance floor. We remain frozen in place. Two ghosts in a room full of glitter. I never stopped loving you, he says suddenly. The confession lands like a dropped glass. Sharp. Unavoidable. You divorced me. I say. You left first, he replies. I left because I couldn't reach you. His voice lowers. And I left because I couldn't save him. There it is. The truth. We didn't leave each other. We left the versions of ourselves that couldn't survive the loss. You look at me like I'm dangerous, he says quietly. You are, I reply. To you, he asks. I hesitate. No. And that's the problem. A man approaches, wealthy, confident, clearly unaware of who stands before me. Ms. Rossi, he says politely. I was hoping to discuss your foundation's expansion. Adrian's posture shifts instantly. Not aggressive, but dominant. The man notices. His voice falters. Perhaps, later, he mutters before retreating. You don't have to do that. I say. Do what? Control the air around me. He studies my face. I don't control you. Not intentionally. I reply. A faint, almost amused breath leaves him. You always saw through me. The orchestra transitions into a slow waltz. Without asking, Adrian offers his hand. A familiar gesture. One I haven't felt in years. Dance with me, he says. Not a command. A request. I should refuse. I don't. His hand settles at my waist. Steady. Warm. The other holds mine. Fingers interlacing naturally like muscle memory never forgot. The world narrows again. But this time, It doesn't feel suffocating. It feels grounded. You built something clean, he says softly as we move. You built something feared, I reply. Yes. And you're not ashamed? He meets my eyes. I'm not proud either. The dance floor spins gently around us. For the first time in years, I feel the man I married beneath the armor. Not the boss. Not the ruler of the underworld. Just Adrian. I can't live in your world, I say quietly. I know. And I won't be a shadow behind it. You won't, he says firmly. Then what happens now? He pauses mid-step, not breaking rhythm, just thinking. I dismantle what can be dismantled, he says finally. And what can't? I separate it from you. The answer is immediate. Certain. You'd walk away from it. I ask. For you. His eyes soften. I walked into it because I lost you. The words settle deep. Heavy. Real. You can't undo who you've become, I say. No, he agrees. But I can choose what I am next. The music slows toward its end. Our movements follow. Reluctant. Measured. Why now? I whisper. Because you're here, he replies. And I'm tired of living in a world where you aren't. When the song ends, neither of us steps back immediately. The air between us hums with unfinished years. I need time, I say. You'll have it, he answers. No pressure. No power plays. Never, he says. And I believe him. Weeks pass. He doesn't flood my phone with messages. He doesn't send gifts. He doesn't appear unannounced. He waits, like a man who understands that control isn't ownership. When he calls, it's simple. I sold 3 firms, he says one evening. Why? I ask. Because they were built on anger. And now, I'm building something else. What? I whisper. A security foundation, he says. Legitimate. Transparent. In partnership with child safety initiatives. My breath catches. With mine. If you'll have me. I meet him in daylight this time. Not at a gala. Not in shadows. In a quiet park near the river. Neutral ground. He looks different without the ballroom lights. Less untouchable. More human. I won't pretend what I've done didn't happen, he says. I know. But I won't let it define what I become next. I study him carefully. You're asking for redemption. No, he replies. I'm asking for alignment. Silence stretches. The wind moves gently through the trees. And for the first time since the funeral, the ache in my chest doesn't feel suffocating. It feels shared. You ruled the underworld, I say quietly. Yes. And now. He steps closer. Not dominating. Not claiming. Choosing. Now, he says softly. I want to build something that keeps children safe. So no one else buries their 5-year-old. The grief doesn't disappear. It never will. But it stops being a wedge between us. It becomes a bridge. I reach for his hand. Not because he's powerful. Not because he changed. But because he chose to. Then we build it together. I say. His fingers tighten around mine. Steady. Certain. We didn't reunite because he became a mafia boss. We reunited because he was willing to stop being one. And this time, we don't build from rage. We build from loss. From truth. From the understanding that grief can destroy a marriage. But it doesn't have to end a love.